news which I think we should be bothered by. 4 o'clock brings Canvas, the Niger Delta Dialogue. It's a Wednesday, so that happens every Wednesday. We'll be having conversations around the development of this region. Now that takes us all the way till 5, where I'll be asking an important question. And this question was sponsored by the reaction, or better yet, the behavior of Nigerians, 2 prominent Nigerians, one famous, one not so famous. But they've exhibited a culture that is truly Nigerian. It's a simple question: why do Nigerians celebrate the barest minimum? 6 o'clock brings the major news, and after that, it's open season. That's where, if you didn't have the opportunity to call in or send a message through the show, well, you have that time to do that. And at 7, I leave. And that's as hard as it can get. I'm going away.
When knowledge meets action, information liberates. How informed do you need to be to thrive in a fast-changing world?
Listen to experts only.
Keep your dial locked on 92.3 Nigeria Info for the best of news, talk, and sports 24/7.
I am listening.
Our freedom depends on our proactive responsibilities.
Let's talk, act, and be about development.
With one voice, our potential is realized. This is your number 1 news, talk, and sports radio station. 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am listening.
Welcome back. I'm glad you're listening. Well, I'm here talking. It's a truly beautiful romance. Now, before I get to the first story, I'd like to wish Temple Okere a happy birthday. I've heard from reliable sources, that will be him, that is his birthday today. Of course, he's a regular caller on Nigeria Info, but more importantly, I came to know this man more around when his brother had a problem with the authorities. By authorities, I mean police officers, and he did everything within his power. Called the radio station, made as much noise until his brother gained freedom. Now that was commendable, because other men in that position would have chosen silence. And so I'm certain that your brother is happy and blessed to have a sibling like you. And I know that your family would be desperately delighted that you're one of them. So happy birthday, Temple. I wish you nothing but success ahead. Now moving on. Stories to get bothered by. Story number 1. I saw on social media, and I did not believe until I saw it carried by one of the verified news sources, The Guardian. That's where I first saw it, and then it became everywhere. Boom. The Nigerian government has said Twitter and its founder, Jack Dorsey, are vicariously liable for the losses the country suffered during the Sars protest. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, stated this on Tuesday when he featured on Politics Nationwide, a Radio Nigeria call-in program in Abuja. Now, Mohammed alleged that Dorsey raised funds through bitcoins to sponsor the Sars protest, while his platform, Twitter, was used to fuel the crisis. He said, when he made the allegations earlier, Nigerians did not take him seriously until an online media outfit carried out an investigation and fact-checking. The minister said the publication confirmed that Dorsey retweeted some of the posts by some of the coalitions supporting Sars protest. In his words, if you ask people to donate money via bitcoins for Sars protesters, then you are vicariously liable for whatever is the outcome of the protest. We have forgotten that Sars led to the loss of lives, including 37 policemen, 6 soldiers, 57 civilians, while property worth billions of naira were destroyed. 164 police vehicles and 134 police stations razed to the ground. 265 private corporate organizations were looted, while 243 public properties looted as well. Mohammed goes on to say 81 warehouses were looted, over 200 brand new buses bought by the Lagos state government burnt to ashes. The minister said it was unfair to conclude that the operation of Twitter was suspended indefinitely because it deleted President Muhammadu Buhari's message. And so Lai Mohammed genuinely believes that Twitter founder is liable for the loss from the Sars protest. Now, as a Nigerian, or better yet, a human being, you will react to this. I'm not quite sure in what direction you will tilt. But this is a story to get bothered by. And when I heard this, well, as you would imagine, my first reaction was, nah, wow. But then beyond now, wow, to have this conversation on radio, you have to go beyond the wah to the facts. Does the minister have a point? Is he telling the truth? Should we blame Jack Dorsey for the losses from Sars? Now, he mentioned some of the losses here: police stations, vehicles. Well, Jack is a billionaire. If push comes to shove and he's found guilty, he can always pay for all of this. But let's look at the responsibility of citizens, of government, and maybe the liability of Twitter. Now, did Jack sponsor the Sars protest? Yes or no? The answer is a big no, but it has to be explained. If Jack did not sponsor it, what did he do? Thank you for asking. Now, the demonstrations garnered support of several influential figures around the world. Celebrities, business people, those whose name would obviously ring a bell. And Jack, Twitter CEO, was among the popular figures who backed Nigerian youths during the protest. He promoted the activities of Sars between October 14 through October 21, when the demonstration was at its peak. And of course, this promotion was on Twitter, his platform, with his over 5 million followers. Jack asked people to donate via Bitcoin to support the movement. And this was his tweet: donate via Bitcoin, to help #EndSARS. The Twitter CEO included a link to the Feminist Coalition website where they could make the donations, not his personal or company's link. Now, during the Sars protest, the coalition had asked supporters to make donations via Bitcoin after government authorities blocked their accounts. And so, this was the level of involvement that Jack had on the Sars protest. So basically, Jack could be called another protester because he was involved. He tweeted Sars at different points, which, well, Nigerians celebrated those who were protesting. Twitter had a special emoji for Sars, the Nigerian map, with the flag, green, white, green. And everyone would say, oh, Jack is now a Nigerian. And then Jack said, please donate Bitcoins to the Feminist Coalition. Now, saying that Jack is liable for that, I would say is irresponsible. Now, I'm not here to say Jack was wrong or right. That's not my position. I'm here to say that Twitter did not fund Sars, based on investigation, not because I know Jack personally. So what Jack did was similar to, let's say somebody has a terminal condition. They're going to die of something. I don't know, cancer or something. And then people gather and say, oh, let's contribute money. It happens on social media every time. Well, let's donate to this account to help fund the surgery. It also happens with Big Brother contestants when they leave, the Ericas and the Ozos of this world, and people somehow want to raise millions for them. Now, if that is happening and a public figure like Bill Gates comes on and says, well, you guys are donating for this. Okay, he simply tweets or makes a post and says, please donate to this platform, which already existed before he even indicated interest in the first place. And mind you, the coalition were taking Bitcoin donations because their account was blocked by the same authorities. And so Jack became an Sars protester. He lent his voice to the cause, tweeted Sars, retweeted, and said, please donate to this. Now, the coalition is not a company owned by Jack. It's not an affiliate of Twitter. It is not connected in any way. He simply, like you and I, said Sars. And well, because he's Jack, he's famous, he's influential, he's, one of the biggest guys in the world. it will make a whole lot of difference compared to when maybe Sam or Mike or whatever your name is, says the same end Sars. So that was the position of Twitter. That was the contribution of Jack. Now, was it right or was it wrong? I don't know. But Twitter did not sponsor that protest. And so, Mr. Mohammed, based on investigation, what you've said is wrong. But I'm not concerned about just what you said, but the fact that you believe that the blame should go to Jack. Well, in that case, since that's what we want to do, let's blame Jack for a lot of things. We can blame Jack for NSARS. Oh, but yeah, let's start from the beginning. We can blame Jack for SARS officials killing young Nigerians in the first place, which led to the protest. Let's blame Jack for the unresolved killing at Lekki Tollgate. Oh, Jack is responsible for the dissatisfaction of the Nigerian youth with security forces and governance. Oh, Jack must be responsible for the epileptic power supply, the rise in food prices, the slow and beautiful fall of the Naira against stronger currencies. Oh, Jack must be the sponsor of Boko Haram. He's the mentor of bandits, the administrator of killer headsmen, and the commander of kidnappers in the country. What else can we blame Jack for? Well, I'm sure Jack sponsors the flyovers in River State. There are so many things we can blame Jack for. But the first sign, I don't want to say of failure, I'll substitute that word with problem, is when we blame everybody, but who needs to blame? Mr. Lai Mohammed, Jack is not responsible for our problems. We have a nation to build and develop, and if we're failing in that regard, we need to own up to our failure, our deficiencies, tell it like it is, and do what needs to be done. That's my take. Well, of course, I have another story that you and I should get bothered by, but I'd like to hear your thoughts. Nigeria government said Twitter and its founder are liable for the losses the country suffered during the NSARS protest. They said this through the words, the voice, and the lips of the Minister of Information and Culture. Tell me what you think about that. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. 0817-923-0007. And of course 0817-923-0009. Please turn off your radio as you call me so we have a smooth conversation. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm calling from Nkoro.
Go ahead,
for Temple. Happy birthday.
Go
My
ahead.
brother, somebody see crisis and said this now, I want to end crisis in Nigeria. Is it bad thing? It's not a bad thing. So like Mohammed, you leave that man alone. You leave Twitter alone. Like Mohammed has caused a lot of problem in Nigeria. The man see this, yet they are accusing the man. Look at what Sars are doing to people. So people say even now, if they will bash in their house, if they got an iPhone, that is not Sars. I don't know these people again. That they are taught or waiting. That's why they are carrying acts. They are still doing the same thing. Then somebody come and say, I want to stop this thing. Then federal government, I want to call that the person is doing bad thing. Then I support Lai Mohammed. I support that man. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you very much. For the record, Jack did not come out to say he wanted to stop. He simply supported a protest that was already ongoing in the country. Clement from NTA Road is on the phone. Hello, Clement.
Yeah, Mr. Sam.
Good afternoon.
I celebrate you. Your rant was up. I want to say keep the rant up.
No,
we are moving there. By the way, our man, Mr. Lai Mohammed, is marketing Nigeria, and it's not good for our brand as a country. You remember what he did to us during the Jollof Rice era, where he misunderstood the question. That man is misunderstanding a lot of things now, and that is the marketing. If only Nigerians will understand. And I'm not saying this as a joke or whatever, just in case somebody may be thinking I'm just saying it. This is the reality. He's an old man. He does not understand where button is on the phone. He does not even know where volume up is or what volume down is, how much monitor of screenshots. and he's come to say things like this. I don't know. You should stop demarketing this country, for crying out loud.
Right, Clement, first of all, neither you nor I can tell whether or not Lai Mohammed knows how to operate a phone. And as much as we have our views, we're not insulting people, we're addressing issues. And as for what I did, I've said it many times. Dayo has the exclusive right to rant. I tried, but I failed. So let's leave his property for him and understand that that's my take on that issue. Nnamdi from Oyo. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
Very well. I listened to you aptly, and Nigerian phone is still functioning because Nigerian phone was not raised down during NSAS. Now, the person calling you lost millions of naira because of NSAS. Where lies we are being peddled. I guess you are aware that some other countries are also attacking Twitter for the things they did. I have over 15 staff that are roaming the streets of Nigeria today. They don't have any job because a platform was used to spread hate speech. How I wish if Jack had done the same thing and peddled lies that Nigerian info, this was happening in Nigerian info, this was happening in Nigerian info, and it wasn't true, and people are paying for it today. What happened in the US about Capitol? Why did they take it down? Why is Jack today apologizing? Why did he take down the NSAS logo? You have a platform as a journalist to put out the writing out there in the space, and not to give people, some persons are not well informed, and you give them a piece of information that can set up the society. We don't do this. We don't do this. I am a Nigerian, a happy one at that. So when you do this, it's time I think MPC needs to look out something. Thank you very much. You corrected the earlier caller who said that this guy doesn't understand anything. He doesn't even anything. I give you thumbs up for that. That's a good one. So I want to tell you, my dear brother, that for everything that happened around NSAS was completely not true. And if NSAS was not checkmated, believe you me, most banks that were burnt down up until today, those persons who work in those branches, they don't have any job. People who rely on them, they are out of business. Some of them, their children cannot go back to school. Most investors left Nigeria because of their businesses were raised down by misinformed Nigeria. And somebody gave a platform and said the need for the burning down of a country. And my dear brother, you sit in your office and say it's not true. We have a lot to go back and ponder about how well we really wish this country.
All right.
Please, let us consider our country first before any other sentiment that doesn't count.
Thank you, Nnamdi. I'm glad that you've clearly expressed your views. And this is one of the things that we welcome here, people saying exactly how they feel. I'm going to respond to you, obviously. But again, I wanted you to finish. Now, Nnamdi, I understand that there were damages done during NSARS. It's not lost on me. I'm a Nigerian, I know. Responding to Lai Mohammed's position that Twitter and Jack sponsored NSARS, it's a pure and applied lie based on investigation. That's my position, not because I know Jack, as I said earlier, but that's what investigation provided. Secondly, I think you need to understand what platforms like this represent, what they are, and what they stand for. Twitter is a microphone. And a microphone does not have content of its own. It simply amplifies the voice of whoever's using it at the time. Nigerians were dissatisfied with governance, authorities, and whatever, and they took to the streets. One of the many platforms through which they expressed themselves was Twitter. So that means if Twitter did not exist, they would have used Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, or their actual voices. So you do not take it out on the microphone because you don't like what was said. You take it out on the speaker. And then you ask, more importantly, why did he make that speech? Because of what Twitter is, the message spread faster. But the blame is not on Twitter. I'm talking to you now, responsible for what I say. You cannot blame the mic I'm using. So as much as I understand that there were damages that came from that event, and of course, I'm not happy that that happened, you need to hit the nail on the head and address what the issue is. Do not take it out on the microphone. If Nigerians were satisfied, they wouldn't have gotten on the streets to march. And you and I will not talk about who sponsored what or who supported what. So ask yourself, what did the speaker say? Why did he say what he said? Is there any form of displeasure? And do not take it out on the microphone. Namdi, that's my position. Thank you for sharing. Bright from Rumibo, hello.
Sam, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, go ahead.
Yes, from your investigation, you said Jack tweeted for funding of NSAS after the government had found the account of the NSAS movement.
Yeah, of the feminist coalition,
Your
particularly.
investigation is not correct. The NSAS movement began on 3rd of October and degenerated on the 20th of October when shooting happened at Lekki Tollgate. Between this period, there was no known fact of any of those participants' account, or there was no account for that movement. It was until after the crisis that degenerated that accounts of participants were being frozen. But Jack had tweeted about funding between the 3rd and 20th. So if Lai Mohammed is blaming him, the only known funding issue that was raised during that period was first by Jack's tweet.
Okay, now I'm glad you said that, Bright.
Not correct.
Bright, Jack's first tweet was on the 14th of October. I'm not saying it because I'm guessing.
Good.
Not the 3rd. The protest was already on.
I'm mentioning for when the issue began from...
No. I'm telling you when Jack got involved. This is public knowledge.
On the 14th.
14th. It's escalated.
Now, when was the first account frozen according to investigation?
Hold on. You've said yours. Let me tell you. Jack did not tweet on the 3rd. Jack started to give interest to this issue from the 14th, which ran
I didn't say he was on the 3rd. I said when the movement began. So when was the first account frozen by the government?
Bright, let's understand each other.
Yes.
What is your position?
My position is that your investigation that Jack's tweeting about funding the NSAS movement was after the government has frozen the movement account. That investigation is false because there was no account funding NSAS movement until Jack tweeted. If there is any account, mention the account on radio.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bright. Now, all I'll need you to do is to do just a little reading. You don't have to open a book. You have your phone. The Feminist Coalition Movement is what Jack asked people to donate via Bitcoin. Bitcoin was chosen because other forms of donation were blocked. Jack started supporting from the 14th of October. And of course, it culminated on 21st because the Lekki shootings happened on 20th. That's all the information that I just need you to go through. Chris from Artillery. Hello, Chris. Apologies. Gift from Yenogua. Go ahead. Good afternoon.
What do you expect from me to come? These are the problem of this country, Nigeria. Fact check. Before she is asked to come on air, a reliable station like Nigeria Info will never allow this type of false information to be fed on. I don't want to join issues. Is it this same man that asked the Sars officials to be killing Nigerians? Did this killing start even 3 years or 4 years ago? It did not start under even Buhari government. Sars has been misbehaving in Nigeria. Nigerians got fed up with these people. That was why they decided to go out. And they are telling me that it was Twitter that functioned the protest. What an insult to even the youths. I'm not happy. And we are the youth that are even calling me to be this way. Thank you. I'm disappointed. Shame on us.
All right, Gift, is important to know, and this is always my position. It always has been, and it always will be. People have a right to their opinions. They can express themselves as long as, if they intend doing it on this platform, they stick to the code and the rules. No hate speech, no whatever. You can disagree, and that's completely okay. That's what makes for healthy conversations. Edwin from Rumosi, hello.
Yeah, good evening, Jack Chinedu. Yes,
good evening.
On the topic of grant, this Jack tweet when Mr. A brother was extrajudicially killed by Sars. Did this Jack also tweet or sponsor the Sars authority when they were killing innocent citizens here in Nigeria? If not, then how did Jack become the problem? Where people, Nigerians, now understood that extradition calling is going on here in Nigeria and nothing is happening. Sars authorities are killing people indiscriminately, no one has been prosecuted, no one anything has been done. And they stood up to say, no, this must stop. How has that become the problem of our country? I don't understand where we are heading to. So the innocent souls that have been killing on a daily basis, often and on, nobody should say anything because they are harmless people. Is it what Nigerians are telling us today? We should think before we say things. These are God's creatures that we are killed for no just reason, for no just purpose. And people stood up and said, stop it. It's not fair. It's not right. And somebody is telling us it is that which it is. How does that become our problem here in our country? Let us stand up and watch and tackle our problems inwardly and fix Nigerians going forward.
All right.
Thank you for your answer. God bless you.
Thank you very much. And Chris from Rumi Bo, before I go over to my next story. Chris?
Chinedu, good afternoon. And I want to say that two wrongs doesn't make a right.
All right.
And having said that, I wanted you to explain what the meaning of an accomplice means in the law court. People should look at it from that platform, from that perspective. Okay. When somebody is said to be an accomplice, he may not be directly involved in the crime, but if he's an accomplice, he's also indirectly involved in the crime.
All right.
But having said that, I think we have to be very careful that we should value our country more than any other thing. People with their agents, whatever platform they call themselves, NGO, these are people who have predicted that Nigeria is going to disintegrate. And whenever issues happen in Nigeria, they are very interested. But when it happens that, like they are destroying government property, you can never see them condemn it. No human rights will come and say, or a foreign NGO to say what they are doing is wrong. But when it is government on the government side, they will come and make it a voluminous and see everything is wrong in Nigeria. Meanwhile, we still have the same circumstances in the U.S. Please, Nigeria should value our country. Nobody can value our country more than we ourselves. I have told people that as far as I'm concerned, let us leave these Western people because they can stop at nothing. Look at what has happened to Libya now. Look at what happened in Arab Spring. What was wrong with Gaddafi that they gathered and killed him, and today they are talking about how to resolve the Libyan people. We must use our head. We will not allow people to use our head for us. As Nigerians who have our personal challenges and a country of our own, we must look at our problem and solve it by ourselves and not allowing foreigners to bring problem into this country for us.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. Well, that's the Chris's position. It's wonderful when people can have healthy conversations around whether or not they agree with something. It's always good. Now, what's my next story to get bothered by? Vice President Yemi Osinbajo test drove an electric car assembled in Nigeria. I believe this was yesterday, during an exhibition tour of Made in Nigeria products at the opening ceremony of a 5-day Nigeria at 60 Expo at the Eagle Square in Abuja. At the event, which was organized by the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Nigeria at 60 in collaboration with Business Visa and Training, Osinbajo expressed excitement at the innovation and said he was hopeful of a bright future for Nigeria. Now, this is good news. It is. Made in Nigeria products, you're thinking the economy, an electric car, you're thinking innovation, and all the good things that can come from this. Now, I saw the video. It's scattered all over the internet of the vice president in the car, you know, giving it a test drive, There's somebody beside him giving what sounds or feels like instructions, and all is wonderful in paradise. Now, my problem with that is, first of all, it's not innovation. Innovation, a new method, idea, or product, or improving and replacing with something new. For us, it might be different, considering that it's not what we're used to. And so it's just another chapter. But my problem with that is, as much as we're celebrating an electric car, which according to this news report was assembled in Nigeria, it's supposed to be the beginning of new things. Let us not forget that in this Nigeria, we already have a company that also assembles cars. Innoson. Now, some have argued, oh, he's not making the cars, he's assembling. He's not assembling. I don't know what he does. But that's a Nigerian company looking to make cars for Nigerians. How much support did Innoson get from the Nigerian government? Now, of course, I'm not going to come and say, oh, they did not support him at all. He's one man alone in the wilderness or wherever. No. If you Google Innoson Motors, you would see that several state governments have given some form of support. Even the president has helped in one way. But it's difficult for me to see what the vice president is doing or what the new car company is doing as a victory, because we have not managed well the one we already have. What this is like a company coming into Nigeria, making bags and shoes, and then the president wearing it and saying, oh, this is a new dawn in Nigeria because it was assembled here. Meanwhile, boys in Aba have been doing that for decades, and they've not gotten as much support. State governments have ordered 40 cars, 40 Innoson cars, or 50, or this one. Yes, they've helped. But when we say support, this is what we mean. We have a Nigerian company that makes cars. You could have your problems with those cars, no problem. I think Innoson started the car line officially in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. In 2021, we should have more Innoson cars on the road than Toyota. And how will this happen if the government wants to support? The first thing, all parastatals, ministries, departments, agencies, your official cars must be the Nigerian-made car. That would obviously boost the business and develop the economy. When that happens, it will naturally trickle down to the private sector. The banks, the corporate world will have their official cars as Innoson cars because the government is doing it. Think about how much our senators budget every other year. I don't know if it's every year, every 2 years. New official cars. And we have debates on radio about the billions of dollars that will be spent for them to get Mercedes and Toyota. I know those SUVs are usually brand new. If that same money was used to acquire Innoson vehicles for them, it will cost less. Why? We're not importing. And that is what it will take to boost that industry. And because there is more demand, the business will expand. And you know what happens? People will be employed. I mean, there are so many things you can imagine would happen if the government gives the required support to that businessman and to many more businessmen who are just struggling to stay afloat. A person who starts business in Nigeria at the same time that somebody outside Nigeria starts, he has a greater chance of lagging behind. You know why? He's going to spend so much on just trying to get steady power supply. He would have spent so much that that money will be enough to start a second business. So it's not a friendly business environment. Think about Innoson cars being so mainstream. The plant or the factory or the assembly, whatever it's called, has collaborations with Nigerian universities where some of our engineering students go there for training. There is no way this will not play out well. And if you have a problem with the quality of the cars, I don't know what an innocent car is like when it comes to handling. I've obviously not driven one. There are regulations. Now that he knows that he's supplying to the Nigerian populace, the quality, there are so many good things that I know will come out of this. And then slowly but surely, he begins to export. At this point, we're checking the some website. They're exporting to Mali, Sierra Leone, and Ghana. So we're looking to cover Africa. But no, when we want official cars, we want cars for our civil servants or senators, we're thinking about Toyota. So what we're doing is we're using our money to develop the economy of Japan. So when I see the vice president drive a car which they say is assembled in Nigeria, an electric car, I'm sorry, I'm not excited. Because the one we had was not managed well. I'm not saying nothing is not doing well. I'm not saying, I don't know what the profit, I have no idea. But at this point, it should be mainstream. Secondly, Mr. Vice President, what you drove was an electric car in a country that does not have constant power supply. Let's imagine that plant begins to make more electric cars, because again, it was assembled here, so there has to be a plant somewhere. And we say, okay, let's start making for Nigerians. We don't have power to charge our phones. How can we afford to charge the cars? How? So you have to look at power. And finally, the world is going in the direction of electric. Whether we like it or not, those cars will be mainstream in a matter of years. And do you know how it will affect Nigeria? Well, the last time I checked, oil is all that we have to offer. So one day, when electric cars are everywhere, Nigeria's oil will not have as much value. Whether or not we like it, that's where we're going. Ready or not, here I come. It will happen. So what was Nigeria supposed to do? They were supposed to diversify. All this diversification, they've been speaking since. So for all the right reasons, I'm not excited that the vice president drove an electric car which was assembled in Nigeria. Because we're not ready. And you say, Sam, diversify. I'll give you 3 sectors that are countless, but I'll give you 3. The first, of course, agriculture. That's what everybody says. That's what we had before we discovered oil. It doesn't make sense that one region is threatening not to send onions and another region is shaking. Why? Because we've not given it as much attention. The second, IT. IT in Nigeria is huge and untapped. The money we can make from there. Do you know that this country is the second largest crypto market in the world? The second or third. I don't want to give out the wrong information. The money fintech companies have made in the last 5+ years in Nigeria, it's crazy. Tourism, there are so many things. So, I'm hoping that we pay attention to this diversification thing. And more importantly, we celebrate our own. Yes, there are checks and balances here and there. Things need to happen. I know. But for that reason, I don't see it as innovative. And we need to do better. I'd like to hear your thoughts. That's my take. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. 0817-923-0007. And of course 0817-923-0009. Please turn off your radio as you call me. At 4 o'clock, of course, we'll have Canvas, the Niger Delta Dialogue, coming right up. Now over to WhatsApp. Good afternoon, Sam. Just imagine driving your electric car from Port Harcourt to Omoko when your battery runs down in the middle of Elele. Sam, now to use leg complete the remaining journey. I don't know how it works. Obviously, I haven't driven one, but I'm sure that with the charge you have, there should be mileage. You know, I just feel, you know, if it's 60%, for example, it should be able to tell you what kind of distance you can cover. You know, so it will make sense to check your dashboard. Hello, Emeka.
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother. Emeka from Owerri.
Go ahead.
You see that show, I call it show, or Chibanjo and Nigeriata, or whatever they call it. You gave us a very good example of nothing but do you see that car? I expect the Chibanjo to make that car official car. Do you know what is the problem we have in Nigeria? The problem is, look at nothing you mentioned. I saw that car. That car was even better than some of the Toyota we mentioned. But you know the problem we have in Nigeria? The first thing that will make that Chibanjo car now, the car he drove to succeed in Nigeria, it depends where the owner or the maker comes from. I must say this. If you come from a certain section of this country, I tell you that country will exist. If you come from another way, another section of the country, that country will not exist. Look at cement industry. Do you know that today, a particular company monopolizes the industry of cement in Nigeria today, determining the price, determining the supply, determining everything. I know about Ibeto cement company. You get at the corner. That country just go down like that. I know of Niger cement. A lot is going on. That your Chibanjo car will only excel only when it comes from a particular section of this country. They support, but when it comes from the other side, I tell you, after a Chibanjo drive that car, that will be the end of that car on the road.
All right, Emeka. Well, I know that you're pushing the, ethnic agenda. Oh, I might not blame you for feeling that way. But the point is to appreciate what we have and develop our economy. So irrespective of where the owner of the company comes from, we need to think Nigerian. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Please turn off your radio. Good afternoon.
My name is Kenneth. I'm calling from Iwofe.
Go ahead.
Yeah?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
I'm coming from Iwofe, yeah.
Okay.
That thing you said that you don't know that can't survive. Lie.
What?
It's a lie.
Okay. I'm not sure I got... Well, thanks for calling. I literally didn't hear you. All right. Back to WhatsApp. Sam, Nigeria is a funny place. All of a sudden, Twitter is responsible for Sars, but now they're just waking up. My worry is that the authorities do not know that the whole world is looking at them and their funny drama. I don't see anything wrong with VP driving an electric car because they've not stopped innocent from producing. Again, we do not have electricity in the country, but still charge our phones on a daily. What do we even want in this country? IBC is asking. All right, one more comment and okay, lots of questions here. If the federal government has serious issues with the management of Twitter, why didn't the government confront Twitter for the role it played in the protest? Until the time Twitter brought down the post of the president, the government should take action at the appropriate time. 2 minutes to the top of the hour, and at 4 we have the news. After that, it's Canvas. Don't go anywhere.